Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is the British Wolf, and today we are doing a replay episode of Theme Park World, one of the last hurrahs of the infamous Bullfrog Studios. Now, if you've played Theme Hospital, Theme Park, or any other theme park that came out, as there was a few that were resurrected by other companies, you should be familiar with the premise. It's just basically an early game where you just had to create a theme park and try to keep your head above water and build them across the globe. Theme Park World sadly wasn't that good. It's like Bullfrog was famous for doing Theme Hospital, Dungeon Keeper, Populous, and the original theme park, and all of which were quite expansive and interesting and intriguing, but the jump to the PlayStation format wasn't exactly good for them. You see, this seems like a theme park game, but it's watered down. And you do have, some changes. You have some changes to it, like certain items will intersect with your roller coaster and, prevent them from working properly. You no longer have to hire guards, and you can place certain things down. And you do have a limit. There's a limit to how much you can put down, but I think that was based on the capabilities of the engine back then. And the issue is it just wasn't as fun. Like they brought out this first-person mode so you can walk around your park, but the rendering distance was terrible back then, and there was no reason for it. I mean, why would you want to see your park in the first place? You can already see everything. You don't want to see 2D sprites of kids running around. And it sadly marks the downfall of Bullfrog Productions, sadly, because this was released shortly before the company actually went bust. It went completely under, and the dreams of Dungeon Keeper 3 went to hell. And it's a shame that it did, because the previous games, which was NES, and PC, which a lot of people loved, they were very popular. Dungeon Keeper to this day still has a solid fan base. Granted, it's along the lines of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, where it's a selective group. Not everyone loved it, but those who do love it will never stop loving it. But at the same time, it doesn't really work out that well, because Theme Park World just wasn't as good as its predecessor. It basically swapped out depth for graphics. And that's a worrying trend that appears in today's media, so it was terrible to see it happen back then. Back in an era which many people call the golden age of gaming, when, the PS1 was still young and the Nintendo 64 still was considered competition as opposed to all the other different game consoles at the time. Where Microsoft hadn't even thought of creating a console because they were too busy dominating the PC field. And it is a terrible shame that this is one of the last things that Bullfrog did. It wasn't... I refer to it as a last hurrah, either earlier in this video or in another audio that I'm not using for the replay episode, but it's not really a hurrah. Like, this game should have been. Like, whenever any studio goes under, the last game it produces should be a last hurrah. It shouldn't just be this weak little cough, like fading into the darkness. And that was what sadly happened to this. And the publisher was brilliant. They were a great studio, and it's a shame that one of the last things they ever did was such a dud. I mean, there are worse games out there, and I assure you, you will see one in the next replay episode. But it's just a terrible shame that this game could have been great. It could have been a marvelous monument to Bullfrog's capabilities, and it just comes out as a weak little whimper before the studio just died. But if you fancy playing it, it is available still. It's not great. It's not. It'll help you pass time, but right now it's nothing better than, say, a management game that you'd find for free on phones. It's really not that perfect. There is another theme park out that's on DS, but it's a lot different. It takes a completely different direction from the original system, so can't really say I can recommend that one. You probably already know of it though, you can feel free to play that, but I'm more of a classic theme park person, so if you want to play it, you can find it. It's not going to be great, but it might be interesting to those of you who like these sort of things, that maybe are curious to it. But this has been Theme Park World. I have been the British Wolf, and I will see you in the next episode. Ta-ta for now.